So you bought your time back, but what you're saying is your dad was hesitant previously. And I unfortunately was like your dad probably the first 16 years of my career. And I want to do it. No one can do it as good as me. But you came into the business wanting to build leverage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm built in a way that I want to teach people how to fish.
Yeah.
I do not want to be responsible for the day in, day out, all the details in a.
You want to talk about leverage? Like left the retail space, lone wolf loan officer, came to the wholesale space, realized it was like a ton to do. Wally, we needed an assistant.
I've had an assistant for a long time, but.
Did you have a shared assistant back at
NAF? No, I had my own. I had my own. I think January I started. I did a bunch of loans. February, I did some loans. By March, I was like, okay, this is too much. I did 0 loans, but I hired an assistant.
Yeah.
Because I'm not wired to do the details and stuff. My LOA has always kind of just done the detail work. So when I didn't have an LOA for 3 months, 4 months, whatever it was terrible. But that's just because I'm the way that I think, the way that I do stuff. So I had an LOA before, and I've had one for years. Like I went and worked with my dad, and when he started Sendera Bank or Sendera Mortgage, and he did not have an LOA. I remember it's like, hey, we need to hire somebody to do the details and like get you out of the office. And like it was a little bit of a fight for probably 4 or 5 months about which comes first, the chicken or the egg. And ultimately he agreed, hired somebody, did a great job training them, and they took off. And our production, like just from that point, just our production skyrocketed.
Yeah.
So ever since then, which that was in probably 2009, I think.
Yeah.
We've had an assistant to do the details and stuff, so we could focus on the bigger picture. And so, for me, it's like, hey, high level, this is how it should work. Let me dive in for a little bit and like figure out exactly how it should work, and then let's get this off my plate and onto somebody who likes doing this detail stuff, so that I can go move and do the next thing. I'm a high level thinker.
High level thinker for sure, but then it was also what's great about that is I think you will so I call it air game and ground game. Mm-hmm. You definitely want to really great at the air game, but you'll slow yourself down to focus on the ground game just for a short while. Mm-hmm. And you got to get the heck out of there. But has that been a positive in your career about getting yourself slowed down, or has that been a negative that you don't want to?
It's not positive or negative. For me, it's just a thing that has to happen. Like it is like, well, you have to inspect what you expect. And so if you kind of just stay away from it, then that's when problems can happen. So every so often I will dive back into the details and make sure things are constantly running and working the way that they should, or the way that I orchestrated them to. And if they're different, I want to know why they're different, who improved this process. Great, how can we continue to make things better along the way? Yeah.
And I think that's where the difference between, I feel, a great loan officer and a good loan officer. You know, when people, they see it as an insult, but I see it as a compliment. They say I'm very militant when it comes to like organization and time. But I think when, like my assistant's got 3 responsibilities on a daily basis. Number 1 is to create a success list in the morning, is a prioritized to-do list. At the end of the day, it's a completed success list. What did they accomplish that day and what's still outstanding? But then most importantly, middle of the day is they're going through their closing calendars. And I think if you build a system like that, and the closing calendar is where you identify, if you're closing on the 30th, you need to have docs out by the 29th, you need to have an ICD signed by the 25th, and so on and so on. So none of those dates are a surprise to my assistant because she adds it to her calendar and she knows on a daily basis. I got to get 2 appraisals today, I need to get this ICD out, and so on and so on. I think one thing that I really should have probably emphasized more in my book is human leverage, systems leverage, and technology leverage. You hire the humans, you build the system, then you keep them accountable using technology. Mm-hmm.